Good evening, Internet, your health as always. And tonight I bring you a little look into the styles and tricks of the one and only Ritchie Blackmore. Now he's actually a very, very interesting player to take a look at, even though I've looked at him only really in passing on the way up to England Malmsteen. But he does a great job of bridging the gap between the sort of the pentatonics of the early British invasion guys. All that type of stuff, and the kind of the three-note per string. Shredders of the kind of the generation that came after him. So we're talking the guy who's the bridge in between Eric Clapton and Graham Malmsteen. So enough waffling. Let's take a look at some of the licks and concepts he uses. Now this first one isn't a lick as such. This is a hybrid scale. So as much as his contemporaries would be focused mainly on the minor pentatonic, Ritchie would tend to extend out the scale vocabulary a little bit to include a few passing notes. So we've got the flat 5 here from the blues scale. We're also going to include the second from the Dorian mode and natural minor scale. So if you're looking to add that into a minor pentatonic, I'm in the key of A here. So the second therefore is B. I've got an easily accessible B here, 4th fret on the G and 7th fret on both of the E's. Then I'm going to include the flat 6 from the natural minor scale, so that in this key is F, and I've got a nice easily accessible one here, 6th fret on the B string. And so that gives me this kind of alternate scale, if you like, an expanded version of the blues scale, what's often referred to as a hybrid scale. And as you can hear, that takes your basic blues vocabulary and just adds a little bit of a twist into it. In fact, let me, I'm going to see if I put a little... traditional pentatonics. We involve the hybrid scale. So as you can hear, that kind of jazzes things up a little bit and gives us a few more tonalities to play about with. So this is going to form the core of the next set of licks that we're going to take a look at. So the second lick, now I'm taking this one from, if I remember correctly, Strange Kind of Woman. It's actually in B minor, so we're just going to take all our concepts here and move them up a tone. And here's the line. So I'm starting off here on the 7th fret of the D string, then heading into my 9th fret root. Then this is where we get seriously clever. We're going to go behind that. The 6th fret G, get a second. 7th fret gets me my minor 3rd. 9th fret gets me my 4th. And then we go to the 8th fret for the major 3rd. And then you're into kind of basic Chuck Berry, T-Bone Walker territory. 7th fret across the B and high E strings. And then 9, 10, 9, 7, so 2nd, flat 3rd, 2nd, and back to the root. Before going to a more conventional finish. 10th fret B, back to 7th fret on the high E, 10th fret B, and do a little position shift up here to the 12th fret high E. Then up a whole tone, and that's taking us from 4th into 5th. And as always with all this kind of stuff, you want to be quite wide and aggressive with your vibrato. And then moving on, now of course we couldn't do anything on Ritchie Blackmore without including something from Smoke on the Water, because even if you don't know Deep Purple, you know Smoke on the Water. And this is a little scale rundown based on a kind of conventional 3-note pentatonic run So this is how you might get something similar from somebody like, let's say, Jimmy Page, for example. So what Ritchie does is involving some of his notes from the hybrid scale. So we've got the flat 6 in, we've got the second in there. So just to slow that down a little bit. So that's a pretty standard build into the run. There's your tension and then the release. Thing to watch out for is that little position shift between. And then I like to lead off with my little finger so I can make that position shift as natural as possible. And then finishing by bending the fourth into the fifth. Okay, and then finally we're going to finish off with another little look now from the mule, again, remember rightly. And this is just taking all the examples that we've looked at and just sticking them all together, really see what happens. We're back to the key of A. Now, you might not believe it initially, but this is all really based around magic 3 notes. So I'm going to start with my, so here's the bend on the G at the 7th fret, 5th fret B, 5th fret high E, 5th fret B, pull off 8 to 5 on the B string. Then we're using the flat 5 from the blues scale on the 8th fret of the G. Notice that we're picking that and then picking the next note as well on the 7th fret before pulling off to the 5th fret and then down to the root on the 7th fret D. So, but more modern players would probably legato all of that. But at this point we're kind of playing with less gain, a slightly more staccato approach than would come after him. And then we've got back up onto the 7th fret of the G, and then moving sequentially down the minor pentatonic. And then we've got a little chromatic run here on the start of the 2nd bar. 5, 6, 7, so that's G, G sharp A, flat 7, major 7, and clamber all the way up. Back up the minor pentatonic to finish pretty much where we started. And finishing on a held bend there, that's the G up to the A, flat 7 into root. You can be quite brutal with your vibrato as well. Don't be afraid to bring the whammy bar in if you need to. Although I think I've just demonstrated why I don't often do that with mine, as my E is no longer an E. So I hope that's been useful, and please do remember to drop a like and a comment and a subscribe. And it's YouTube, you all know how to use YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. And I will see you next month. And well, best get warming up, because we are unleashing the fury next month with the one and only Yngwie Malmsteen. So yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. So I'll see you for that one. All the best. Your health as always.